Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of the FilmKind podcast. I'm Kieran, and in this episode I'm going to review Life, which is a new science fiction thriller from director Daniel Espinosa.
It's beautiful.
For hundreds of millions of years, Mars has been extinct, but somehow this creature has survived.
What caused the extinction?
We need to make sure that creature doesn't get to Earth.
So Life follows a group of astronauts aboard the International Space Station who have discovered the first evidence of alien life on Mars. And that's pretty much all I'm going to say about the main plot, because I don't want to spoil too much, but I'm guessing you can kind of work out that things don't exactly go to plan, because it wouldn't be much of a sci-fi thriller if they did. So before I went into this film, I wasn't really sure what to expect. You probably don't know this, but I'm not really into horror movies. I'm just not the kind of person that likes to pay money for someone to scare the living bejesus out of me. Being scared isn't an experience I really enjoy, so I don't really understand the idea of paying someone to give me that experience. But this film was different because I actually liked what I saw in the trailers and the promotional material. And the cast in this film was pretty damn amazing. I mean, Jake Gyllenhaal leads the cast with a strong performance, and Rebecca Ferguson, Ryan Reynolds, and pretty much the entire cast throw out good performances. So just seeing that cast come together and seeing how they all work together and create these characters and actually kind of make us like the majority of these characters, I found that really interesting, and that was probably one of the most entertaining and exciting aspects of this film. So I'm just going to quickly talk about the monster in this movie. And I don't want to spoil anything, but also how can I not talk about the monster in my review of a monster movie? So the monster in this film actually starts out pretty ordinary. Like, it's just a blob of life before the stupid fucking scientists decide to start messing with it. And you've got to question, like, would this have even happened if they just left that thing alone? Actually, it probably would. So yeah, they mess with the little blob of life thinking it's just a stupid little thing that doesn't have feelings or a brain. Turns out it's a genius level creature who doesn't like being messed with. And at several points the characters mention how Calvin, oh yeah, the monster's called Calvin. So at several points the characters mention that Calvin is just doing what an animal or a creature does. They say that this blob of death and misery isn't evil, but it's just being itself. And at the start you kind of believe them, because he's just doing what a tiger or a gorilla in the zoo would do. But then at around the halfway point, you just start to realise that you really hate this monster, and you realise that it's not just killing people for food, it's just a complete and utter dick of a monster. So yeah, in case you can't already tell, I actually really liked Calvin as a monster. I thought he was really well done, and I was completely terrified anytime he was on screen. So yeah, you kind of know that the job's being done right when I'm shitting myself every time he shows up. In terms of story, Life isn't really anything groundbreaking. You can definitely see the influences from the Alien franchise, and I'm not necessarily saying that's a bad thing, but you can definitely see that they're there, and it just takes away some of the originality from the film. Also, the first half of the film is a lot more entertaining than the second. As soon as it becomes a traditional sci-fi horror movie, it loses a lot of that originality. But overall, you guys, I really enjoyed this movie. Well, enjoyed is probably the wrong term. I was completely terrified and stressed out by this film, so I guess it did its job as a science fiction thriller. Overall, this is probably the film I would recommend most around now. If you're wondering what you should go see and you're deciding between Life, Ghost in the Shell and Chips, you should definitely go see this movie. Even if you don't usually like horror films, this is definitely worth the stress. Out of 10, I would probably give Life around a 7.5. Yeah, I'm gonna give Life a 7.5. This is a good science fiction thriller. It's not the perfect film, and it could be more original, but overall, I really liked and thought that this was a decent film. Okay guys, that's it for my review of Life. Let me know what you thought of the film in the comment section below, and subscribe to this podcast. Also, check out monkeysfightingrobots.com for the latest movie news and content. You can follow me on Twitter at KaysMcLean, or follow the podcast at FilmKindPod. I'll see you in the next episode. Oh, and also go follow us on iTunes and all that kind of stuff. Do it.